Another week, another rental. This is a Ford Bronco Sport. So the little one. And well, so it's pretty low trim, whatever Big Bend means, but this thing is terrible. So for starter, I mean, it looks cool and it's a good size, just a normal small crossover SUV, enough size for, enough room for people, some cargo, pretty decent fuel mileage. That's the one redeeming quality. I have got around 29 miles a gallon driving it for the past week. But you can just hear when you put the keys in here, everything is just a scratchy, cheap feeling plastic. Everything moves. You want to talk about stuff that moves. This is incredible. This is incredible how low quality this is. Let's say you want to turn the automatic stop start off, right? You see that on camera? The whole panel moves. See? The whole thing indents. That feels incredibly cheap. The ride is terrible. I mean, it rides awful. We're going to go for a little drive here, but it rides really bad. And just everything's it moves, it rattles, it squeaks, it scratches. This is one of the cheapest feeling interiors I've ever felt. Even down to, the controls down here. I mean, you got a drive mode thing here, which is cool. And I like a rotary shifter. It's out of the way, but there's just no feel at all. Like, you have no idea. It just spins for eternity. It's in park, and you could just keep spinning it. I mean, that's crazy. There's just no feel for anything. You're in drive, you can keep spinning it. It doesn't go into a lower gear. It just, yeah. And yeah, the whole thing moving is crazy. This is going to sound crazy too, but the volume knob being over here, I can barely reach it. It's just the ergonomics are terrible. I mean, it does have a big screen. The Apple CarPlay, Android Auto works pretty good. But the seats are a torture device. They're flat and uncomfortable. There's a ton of road noise. The road mounters are actually all really awful. This has the 1.5 liter engine in it. And again, fuel economy, 29 miles a gallon, not bad. That's better than my Equinox, which also had a 1.5 ever got. But compared to like a RAV4, a CR-V, any of the Hyundai Kia products, that's not good fuel economy, especially for how slow this thing is. But the power level is actually not the biggest problem with the powertrain in this thing. It's the throttle response. It's jumpy. It's just extremely jumpy. It wants to. You cannot drive this thing smooth, and I had to drive it through New York City, and it was not a good experience. It's way too much in the beginning, and then it just runs out. Like, the turbo's done by 3,500 RPM, making any torque. So it has like a small turbo diesel feel almost without the turbo diesel torque. It really is a terrible powertrain. From the throttle response, for the power. The other thing that's amazing is how terrible it rides. So let's go for a little drive here. Maybe I could demonstrate. So to put it into perspective about how bad this thing rides, I thought, okay, there's got to be something wrong with the tire pressure. Or maybe it's got, really bad tires on it. It has 5,000 miles on it. Yeah, and it's got North Carolina plates, so around 1,000 of those miles were just bringing it up to the Northeast. I mean, the tires they were properly inflated. I played with the inflation pressure twice. So yeah, sometimes you just need to add a little more. So I tried that first. It says 33, on the door for this vehicle, on the door placard. So I said, okay, 33 pounds. it had around 34 pounds in it. So I said, let me bump it up to 36. Obviously that made it worse. And then I bumped it down. I went lower. I went down to 28. And it's just the suspension on it. I put it back to 33 now, but it just, something about the suspension. Oh, right, just like right there. I'm in a little, there's just a little storm drain here. And the whole car just, this is the worst riding vehicle I've ever been in. I had a YJ Jeep Wrangler with F350 leaf springs that rode better than this. And I am not exaggerating. I do not understand how or why it rides so bad. Every little bump is just dramatic in this thing. One thing that is cool is the gauges. Like I said, there's a lot of cool things about this, and it's got some potential. It's just not all there. So one of the cool things on the gauges is you can go to this calm view. I really like this. So what this calm view does is it just shows your speed and your distance to empty. So I'm gonna turn this brightness down because, it's kind of like night mode on a Saab. If you've ever been in one of those, a very similar kind of experience where it just it's calm mode. I like that. And like I said, this screen works pretty well. The one thing that does not work well, though, is the HVAC controls are integrated with it. Which, okay, so like you just want to change the fan speed, you got to go all the way over here. And again, the volume's over there too. It's really weird. You got to go, I can't even reach it while I'm driving. You got to go all the way over here. I have to bend over and I can barely reach the fan speed button. It's just bad ergonomics. But so once I do that, then it brings up another menu with a slider, or you just sit there and hit the button a bunch of times, but it's kind of slow to respond. So definitely, I hate touchscreen climate controls. I don't think anyone really likes them. I'm definitely not alone in my hatred of touchscreen, everything being integrated into the touchscreen. So, yeah. This is the Bronco Sport. Like I said, it looks cool. Has a decent amount of cargo room. It's the right size vehicle. This is the most popular segment. Think Toyota RAV4, CR-V, all those vehicles. And this definitely is better than my Equinox in terms of just overall performance. The fuel economy is better. The gas tank is larger. The infotainment's better. But the ride is a real deal breaker for me. The steering feel is just not there. It really, this is one of those vehicles that has a lot of potential. It just needed a little bit longer in development, and it's a shame. It's a shame because what you're left with is just a terrible product. Every little bump, you hear it too. Like, it's not just the impact that you feel. You hear it. It's just not a refined experience at all. And again, I have a tracker and a 4th Gen F body, so bad interior and noises on the inside normally don't scare me off, but you can hear it. Something's squeaking and rattling back there. This thing has had all sorts of rattles and noises, and it just really is not very well built. And again, it's a shame because I do like how it looks. I want there to be another tracker, 1st Gen RAV4 out there. I want a vehicle like this to succeed, and I think things like this are kind of cool. This is pretty much all anyone needs. Is a small little SUV like this, enough ground clearance to drive it in the winter and to do some, going to campsites and things of that nature. But Turning radius is pretty good. I just did a completely illegal U-turn. That turning radius was excellent, actually. That's one more mark for it. But overall, God, oh my God, the ride. The ride is just obnoxious. Yeah. Bronco's a good name for it. Yeah, it's gonna buck on you like a Bronco. I mean, I gotta look up what the wheelbase on this thing is. I just can't believe how bad it rides. But yeah, here, let me give you another. Here we go again with the spinning. The spinning transmission lever from hell. I really don't like that thing. Here, let's shut it down. The engine stop starts down there too, and that's its own thing. Unlike this panel that everything moves on. Yeah, so the cheapness. I mean, this is soft, but it's like you could, in 5,000 miles, you could already see that it's got wear issues. Look at the carpet after 5,000 miles. The carpet's worn out. I mean, oh my God, just look at the build quality of this thing. Yes, obviously, if you didn't wash it like that, it would hold up a little better, but I mean, that's from a car wash. These marks are everywhere. Like, even the paint quality is horrible on this thing. Yeah, there's swirls in the paint everywhere from it going through a car wash. And whatever these Continental tires are, if you have these, I am sorry. What a terrible driving vehicle. But yeah, looks cool. Okay, one other thing I like. The rear glass opens independent. You never see that on a compact SUV. That's a great feature. I mean, I've used it a bunch to just grab things in there. And like I said, I had an Equinox that I really detested. And this has more cargo room than that. I don't know what the official spec sheet says, but just the space is more square and open, so it's a more useful cargo space, even if it might technically be smaller. But yeah, backseat comfort, not good. Road noise, not good. Handling, not good. Power, not good. Ride, not good. Yeah. Overall, this thing's not good. Looks cool, though. So yeah, I don't want to totally dump on the appearance. I mean, roof rack's cool. It's pretty solid. And so this is behind myself. Yeah, my knees are touching. So it doesn't have a ton of space, but hey, at least it's got a rear air vent. Yeah, backseat, I had a taller passenger here, and good luck. So, space is, leg room wise is not that great back here, but vertically, I mean, yeah, it's definitely upright. You got a ton of headroom. This thing's got a lot of potential. I'd like to drive one with a 2-liter and maybe a different suspension, and I might have some different thoughts, but for now, it's one of the least favorite rental cars I've ever had. And again, it sucks just because it has a lot of potential. It is cool looking. I like how the rear window opens. The 4-wheel drive mode is pretty cool. I'd like to drive one of these with a 2-liter, but I'd still be concerned about a lot of the build quality issues. I mean, just, the paint swirling, just the overall cheapness everywhere. But who knows? These things might be a cool used car down the road, obviously with a different powertrain, but can't recommend this one. So if you're in the market, I suggest you go drive one and see if you can live with a lot of the sacrifices that you're going to have to. Kind of funny. Didn't plan this at all. There's a full-size Bronco parked right next to me. Who knows? Maybe I'll rent one of those later this week. In conclusion, on the Bronco Sport, I really like how it looks. I like the shape of it, and I understand why people would see the appeal of this. Hey, it's more boxy, that back window opens, pretty fuel efficient. I get it. But if you are in the market for one of these, I highly recommend you go and test drive it and see if you can live with this awful engine. I'm sure the 2-liter, and the ride, I just anyway, I'm sure the 2-liter performs a lot better. This 1.5 liters, just not it. Okay, just skip it. Whatever it costs to upgrade, it's worth it. The power level is honestly kind of dangerous. And again, for 29 miles a gallon, with this level of power, I was thinking this thing would be getting 35, 40 miles a gallon, which you can legitimately get with the RAV4 with way more power. So I'd say skip this motor if you really want this thing, and definitely budget for different tires at bare minimum, because this ride is atrocious. So yeah, go test drive it. Definitely looks cool, and it's a good idea. I just think it needed a little more development time, but you know, I could say that about a lot of cars, and who knows, maybe I will. This week is going to be interesting. I'm actually renting 2 separate cars this week, so stay tuned for another rental review. And I appreciate you guys watching. I know it's not, you know, it's not anything super interesting or cool, but you know, my motto is always, hey, go drive your car. And these are my cars this week. This is what I'm driving, and unfortunately, this is what I'm driving. This ride is atrocious. I do not understand. I'm going to go online and do some more research as to why these things ride so bad. The wheelbase doesn't look that short. This is just whatever. Whoever designed the suspension on this thing should be investigated. That's all I'm going to say. But no, in all seriousness, thanks for watching. I don't recommend the Bronco Sport, in case you can't tell. One of my least favorite vehicles I've ever driven. But thanks again for watching, and stay tuned later this week for another rental review.